All right, y'all. Hey, all right. So here's what we're gonna do. So for today, you all are gonna be working on these applications for law of sines and law of cosines. Remember, basically for law of sines, as long as you have the a side and the opposite angle, then you can set up a law of sines. Okay. The law of cosines is definitely useful and needed when you don't have the angle and the opposite side. And so those are kind of the main things that you want to look for when you're setting up these problems and sketching. I'm obviously not going to do them all, but I have a couple that I picked out from when I was doing these. All right, so the first one I'm going to look at is number 3 here. Okay, I'm going to do this one. Okay, so from here, we have a triangular playground, has side lengths of 475. So I'm gonna make just a triangular playground. Okay, has length of, obviously this is not drawn to scale, but I'm gonna try to angle it or put it to scale because it doesn't really specify anything. So 595 feet, 475 feet, and 401 feet. Okay. What are the measures of the angles between the sides? So what I'm going to do is label these A, B, and C. Sometimes you would label them, I would label them with letters depending on what the problem specifies. So if it's like a person's name, something like that, I would label it that way. All right, so here I have all sides, but I have none of the angles, which means law of sines is not going to work. Because in order to do law of sines, I definitely need an angle opposite of one of these sides. Okay, so what we're going to use is the law of cosines, and we're trying to find the measures of all the angles between the sides. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for these angles here. I'm going to start with angle A, which means, remember, this will be side A, and then obviously this is side B, and then this is side C. Okay, and so we're going to set up the law of cosines for this. So since we're looking for angle A, we're going to use side A to begin with. Now, I should have had you write these at the top here, but law of sines, remember, is sine of the angle over the side, sine of B over the side, B, that's an A, looks like a 9, side of B, and then the sine of C over the side. Then the law of cosines is A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC, and then cosine of capital A. And then you basically just do the same for the others, okay? So I'm not going to write them all down. All right, so we're going to use law of cosines. So we're going to use side A, so 401 squared equals 475 squared plus 595 squared minus 2, 475, 475, and 595, cosine of capital A. And we're going to look for A, right? So remember, you're going to move everything to the other side here. Okay, so we're going to subtract all this over. Move that to the other side. So in my calculator here, oh shoot, there, where is it? Where was it? Where was it? Oh, here we go. All right, so calculator. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna do 401 squared minus 475 squared minus 595 squared. It's gonna be big numbers here, which is fine. So 418849. Okay, so negative 418849. 418849. Okay, so we got that. Over here, I'm going to calculate this piece. So 2 times 475 and 595. 75, 595. So that comes out to this. So don't forget there's a negative here. So this is going to be negative 5652 50. And then cosine of capital A. All right, don't forget there's the negative here, okay? So make sure once you have this, again, we're solving for capital A. So when you're solving, you're going to divide this over 52, divide that over negative 5250. All right, and then you would have the cosine of A, capital A equals, and then you get whatever you get from here, so negative 41. Now, I know some of you are like worried about this piece. Up here, you could just put the negative on the 2, just so you don't forget it. It's the same thing, whatever. But now, so we're going to do negative 418849 divided by negative 565250. Yeah. So this is our decimal, 0.74, the rounding on this. So 740. I don't like rounding up a lot like that, so I'm going to say 740998. I'm just going to carry a little bit more on. So 740998. 740998. All right, so this is the decimal, and then I'm going to do the inverse of that, inverse cosine. So it's going to be cosine inverse of this decimal, and that's going to give me my answer. So I'm going to say second cosine of this answer. Oh, shoot, I forgot to put it in degree mode. I forgot this online one immediately reverts back to radian. All right, second cosine of that answer. Now it's in degree mode. There we go. So 42 point, it's a word problem here, but so we'll say 42.1835 degrees. So that's angle A. All right, and then now that we know angle A, okay, we pretty much now can find another angle doing a law of cosine for that. And so, let's see, I don't have a lot of room here. So I'm going to do this. And you kind of got the process down, guys, so you should probably do this on a separate sheet maybe. But let's see, we do angle B now. So it's going to be 475 squared equals 401 squared plus 595 squared minus 2, 401, 595 cosine of B. And then we go through the same process, right? So we subtract 475 squared minus 401 squared minus 595 squared. Okay, we do that. And then we're going to divide by, now here, this is where you can get creative. Just type in the whole thing. So divide by 2 times 401 times 595. So I put negative 2 there so I didn't forget. Okay, so I get that decimal. Okay, so after moving all that over, dividing, I get 6061 equals cosine of capital B. So I just repeated the same steps, guys, over here. I just didn't write it all down. Capital B would equal the inverse cosine of this. All right, and then from here, we would get our answer. So second cosine of this. Luckily, I'm already in degree mode, so I get 52.6956. 956. All right, degrees. All right, now the fact that I have this, I'm pretty much able to just do 52. I'm able to just do 180 minus now, and that'll get me the rest of the, or the other angle, 6956. Okay, cool. All right, so then from here, I'm gonna do 180 minus all of that. to get my last angle, and you're good to go. All right, so 1835, and I get 85 here, so that's angle B. Into angle C equals 85, 1209 degrees. All right, so we got all of our angles now. Okay, so we're good to go. Yeah, so that's using a law of cosines. Okay, now the other one I want to go over, looking at my notes here, is number 4. Okay. Let me see if